Hey, welcome back to Metroid Prime 3. Let's see if we can't finish this bad boy out today. Yeah, maybe it'll be 2 videos, maybe it'll be 1 video. I just did everything on the Valhallan, so... Where to? Do I want to try and get... No, I just kind of want to finish the game. Alright, well, let's head to the big old space pirate thing, if I can. It's orbiting... It's orbiting the space pirate mothership, right? My nose itches brutally on the outside. Can't tell you why, but it is. Alright. So let's head... Unknown solar system. Okay, so I can't get in there yet. Here's the pirate seed. Transit station landing. Command center. Research facility. Let's head to the command center. Because I know that I'm missing something, I just don't know what. I'm gonna look at my instructions, or lore, or whatever, and see what I can get. And away we go! And down onto the corrupt, given into temptation and vice and evil, space pirate planet. Okay, oh well. Hello there.
We've got this area covered. You better get going.
I suppose I better head. Hello. Dynamo unit is functioning at a basic level, but will cease operations if lack of maintenance continues. Interesting. Oh shoot, where should I go? Probably is on the map, right? It's the research facility, transit station 2A. Where's my zoom in button? The zoom in button. How have I not been there? Command vault leads to mining site, defense access, command courtyard, courtyard passage, skyway access, transit station. The Leviathan. Wait, is that where I need to go? Transit station to Leviathan. No, that would lead to the seed, right? I don't need to go to the seed, right? Hold on. Let me check. Yeah, let me check the map on other sections. No, not the Leviathan seed. I don't need that. Alright, transit station to Leviathan. This is the same map, just from a different angle. Go to research facility? Scrap vault, scrap works, proving grounds lift. This entire chunk I've not got to. Crash transit, Metroid Crash. Why haven't I been in the Metroid Crash? Okay, well, we're gonna go explore those areas I haven't. Because I don't quite understand what I'm missing. Topsy-turvy! To the absolute peak, my brother! 83 degrees. 83 degrees and I'm already sweating? Ugh. Okay. Cannot be opened from this side. Yeah, so be it. We'll just have to go to that. Oh, there we go. Alright, so turn around, go down to the second level, go back through that way, up the green path, to the other side of the room. That's right, because I can drain things now. I can go through those areas I couldn't before. Excellent. Fantastic. This is the wrong way, I'm sure. But it does lead to the same room. But is it faster in getting there? No. Back. It is most likely not faster in getting there. Whoop. Because I can just... Well, now there might be a door I can't go back through this way, which would mean that it doesn't matter if this would technically be faster, it's not faster at all because I can't go there. Let's find out. Come on. Okay. Through this one. Come on. These loading times, man, I tell you. Okay, so this should be... Okay, so you just have to. And then it allows it. Alright. Perfect. Oh. Just long enough to get stuck in hyper mode. I forgot I had missiles. I'll spend a ton of phase on using the missiles, and get out of phase on mode faster. Map of the transit pathways currently in Transit Station 2A connects command center areas. That's also kind of a problem, is you just, like, control terminal activated, interact with nearby terminal to signal for transit system. You just kind of forget about the other abilities because they're all damaging abilities. But the beam does plenty of damage on its own. There's nothing that requires you use the missile to break it. I probably sound very wishy-washy on like this, you know, this should be necessary, this shouldn't be necessary, or whatever. I'm no perfect man. I'm gonna make all the mistakes that you can make. Control terminal operates with transit system. Interact with the terminal to initiate travel. I don't really need to read that off. It's the same as every other one. Okay. Let's find out where this goes. Part of me wants to think, oh, there's clouds in the transit system. That air's gotta be pretty cool, if only you could open a window. And then I remember it's a polluted planet. It probably wouldn't feel good at all, even if it were cold. Scan. Move these back, scan this. Wow, it's amazing. Alright. So what's in here, boss? What do we got? Energy shield is online and blocking access to the portal, powered by a nearby source. Is that so? Grating is covering a vent duct. Scans detect that the telluric alloy within the grating has weakened. One would wonder why you ever use telluric alloy. This terminal is powering the energy shield covering the transportation portal. Oh, I should have eaten. I should have eaten before I did this. I'm starving and I can feel it now. Oh, hold on, let me go roll in there. Oh, missed it entirely. Oh, well, hello there. No, stop. Okay, so you have to wait for it to... You have to wait for your whip to fully lock on before you... Oh, there we go. Before you can actually drain her Give energy. Terminal is drained of power. Energy shield blocking access to the transportation portal is offline. Primary warp system online. Access to orbiting Leviathan granted. Enter hologram to initiate warp. And this? Transportation portal online. Connection to orbiting Leviathan has been established. Alright, let's do it. Ooh! Still loading. We're only in purgatory for a short time. Transportation portal online, you can go back. Leviathan optical organ. Target appears to be sensitive to any type of weapon fire, but why would I shoot it? Target appears to be a portion of the Leviathan's core and vulnerable to all weaponry. See, I feel like it would just be pissing off the thing I'm inside, and that would be weird. Control terminal commands the Leviathan. Operate terminal to gain control of the Leviathan. Alrighty then. Juice it! Juice it with the code, the pirate code! Control codes entered. The Federation has gained control of the Leviathan, and I think that's all I can do here. Oh!
Samus, we have gained control of the Leviathan.
I know, I just read that.
Now we'll be able to open a wormhole and warp to phase.
Excellent.
Time to end this. Once you rendezvous with the fleet, we'll head straight into the belly of the beast. I look forward to fighting alongside you again, Samus. Godspeed.
Awesome. Nice. I got a nice little green spot. Let's walk into here, pause for a little bit while time and reality shift around us. And wait a little longer. There we go. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Let's finish this thing out. I think I'm only missing maybe 3 tanks and maybe 10, 12 missiles. Not super important.
Take heed, Samus.
Oh, you're gonna have to tell me that on the other side of this transit.
Take heed, Samus. Once you join the fleet and the wormhole to phase is opened, there is no turning back. Be sure to prepare yourself. We wish you the best of luck.
In other words, save your game, because once you're on phase, it's a point of no return. So if you're underprepared, that's your fault. You needed to prepare better. This is your last chance to go and collect everything. So we'll save at the ship and then we'll go. Because I think I can do it with the power-ups I have currently. Which is quite simply that. Oh yeah, you can see how my glasses distort my face in the recording. I suppose it's sensible to just assume that. Sometimes I'm not sensible. Wonderful. Save and enter ship. Pinky's always a little worrisome. Alright, fully saved. Fully replenished. Still can't pop the left. Oh man, I desperately want to pop my left wrist, but I can't. I keep feeling like, oh, maybe I could pop my left wrist. Can't pop my left wrist. Been like 2 days. Can't pop my left wrist. It's frustrating too. I really like. It's such a visceral good feel that I'm super desperate to pop it, but there's just not enough. There's just nothing there. If only. Let's go! To apparently quote Odysseus. We all know that's hogwash. It looks like it's a pursuit, but they would just be in orbit at the same speed.
Leviathan Command, you are clear to fire the portal beam. Once the wormhole is
Oh,
open,
my bad.
order all ships.
I completely misunderstood the cinematic.
Message to all ships. Prepare for entry. Maintain battle formation Titus.
Titus! I don't know what that is. And of course we know in Japanese it is Tivus. And if you played Final Fantasy X, you might know what I'm talking about. Welcome to the Blue Planet. Otherwise known as the coolest planet. How did you not have any sort of deflector shields? You're the Galactic Federation. Get on the ball. How don't you have big beam cannons? You're the capital ship here. Though I do have to say, one of my favorite things is that space battles have uniformly been agreed upon to emulate and imitate, whichever, I think they both mean the same thing, but to emulate and imitate World War II naval battles. I'm very happy that space battles are pretty much that. They wouldn't be, and logically they wouldn't be, it wouldn't make any sense, but I find it highly entertaining that it is, in fact, that. Completely agreed upon by everyone, that. Oh no! The phazon in the atmosphere is reacting with the phazon in my body! You can see the black of the Slara there. It's so cool! It's such a cool attention to detail! I am trying to vent my energy tanks. Oh god. Okay. I'm not even going to focus on what's on the screen. I didn't know that depending on your energy tank count, it changed how much health, like your health timer. We might have to go back. I might have to get the rest of the E-tanks. I didn't realize that was going to be a thing. But screw it. I'm going to go through with it. We're going to see if I can do it on 3 missing E-tanks. Due to critical levels of internal phazon corruption, the emergency vent override has been triggered by the phazon... I've forgotten what all the letters mean. By the phazon enhancement device suit. All acquired energy tanks have been vented to temporarily prevent total corruption. Hypermode weapons no longer require the extinguishing of an energy tank to use. You are now permanently in hypermode. Unfortunately, this vent override can no longer be used. Damage as well as exposure to Phase's atmosphere will continue to raise your phazon level. Your phazon level is shown as the yellow bar at the top of the heads-up display. If your phazon level fills completely, you will die. Okay. That's bad. It's cool to have, like, permanent ultra mode, though. Ah! Okay, no, back off. The good news is that everything drops a health power up to give you more time, so even if I don't have what I'd like to have, I can still regain that energy, provided that I find an enemy that provides me... I can reduce my phase-on buildup. Blech, provided I find an enemy that gives it. What? Okay, really? Okay. Jerks. That's right. Oh, I should be scanning things, right. Cluster of large crystals has grown through the cavern wall, vulnerable to explosive blasts. Nice. I really do like the hyper missile. It's super cool looking. Ah, rude! Is there anything new I can scan? Maybe the door. Hold on. Okay. Door has low-level energy shield. Any weapon fire can disrupt it. Ha! Oh, hold on. There we go. Got him. Hello. Species identified. Glow stem. Bioluminescent plant life that contains high radiation readings. Oh. Oh, hello. Okay, alright, hello. Well, if I've got infinite morph ball bombs, why not blast everything, right? What? Oh, interesting. It's a reset after a period on the off chance that you were, like, really high. Of course, we have the Metroids, which has started this all. Oh, kiddo! Love phase on screw. Very cool, very cool. Can I scan that guy? I already scanned him before. Okay. Stop it. Missing something? Ah! What am I missing? Oh, the blasted crystals behind me, of course. No, don't do that. Scan. Stop it. Phazon mass has a hardened shell, sustained by surrounding growths, destroying them identically. Darn. Ow. Boom, sucker! What do we... Ah! A hole. Oh, okay, round 2. Further down we go. Little phazon reduction ball. On the off chance that you're having a hard time, having a hard go of things. Fully reset you before you continue on further into the level. Okay, no sir. That's right. That's right. Don't you try that. Maw has been destroyed. Fleshy mass appears to be part of a much larger organism. Scan that. Exposed membrane is a small section of the nest which contains hundreds of juvenile Metroids. Ah, okay, that's enough. That's enough. Enough of that. No. Get away from me. Wait, why there, but not this? What? Okay, really? Got him! Okay. What's that? Great. Stop it. Oh, I gotta beat them all before I can move on. Okay. And now that that's over with, I have yet more people to blast. There we go. Moving on up to the east side. Uh-oh. Can I scan that? Oh, I certainly can. Until I am in front of it. Terrified. What is going on? Okay. Terrifying. Really, I've not scanned that. The pulsing spores of this fungus emit the scent of decay. No profile matches in the database. Hardened phazon is covering an opening. An explosive blast may be able to shatter it. Honestly, I do have to appreciate the design. Like the fleshy design. It's not quite the, you know, tooth and bone marrow from Prime 1, but it is an alien organic structure, which is similarly disgusting. Perhaps not equally, it depends on how you feel about these things. Serpentine organ serves as a leviathan womb. Tissue on the sides looks like it could be torn off. That's kind of terrifying. Well, come on, Skinner. Yoink it. Give me that old yoinky splunk. You're not getting away. Oh, I should scan that. No, this thing. Okay, I don't think I can scan the tiny thing inside. Rude. Maybe I gotta pull off both. Alright. The sides of the organ have been ripped off. The Leviathan infant within is now vulnerable. Okay. How does one damage such a thing? Incoming train from the rear! There we go. We got it, boys. And a full reduction. These husks are identical to the bioform you encountered within the crater on Talon 4. Now, I don't know if I believe that, because the art style was wildly different, but... Alright. In we go. Again, on Talon 4 it was more humanoid in nature. So cool. But not obsessively superhero pose. There's obviously a floaty nature about it. She's just landing in a cool way. God, it looks so cool! Hello there! Dark Samus! So we meet again for the first time, for the last time. Oh dear. Oh, that was... Yeah, let's give it a scan. Morphology. Dark Samus. Phazon energy-based entity disrupted by hyper mode attacks. Target is composed of pure Phazon energy and is highly unstable. Scans indicate that hyper mode attacks are capable of disrupting them, likely a result of hyper mode being energized by Samus's body. What? Ah, oh, okay. Dark Samus is capable of generating echoes of herself to aid her in battle. These units will be used as increased firepower and act as distractions while she replenishes her energy. They should be destroyed immediately. She is capable of absorbing energy from Phase to replenish her own. Which would make one wonder why Phazon energy is uniquely capable of harming. I mean, hyper mode beams, which are produced because of Phazon energy, perhaps through the Phazon enhancement device, the Phazon changes the nature. I don't know. But there's questions there. Questions to be had. Yeah, nice effort. Too bad you suck. There we go. Here come the clones. I think. Yes, here come the clones. Or is this just a different mode that she's using? I think it's just a different mode she's using. Okay, hold on. Dark Samus is absorbing energy from Phase to replenish her own. Target is composed of pure Phazon energy and is highly unstable. Yeah, or is an uncorruptible. I suppose I could say that. and not have issue with it. Anyways, scans indicate that hyper-mode attacks are capable of disrupting her likely... Okay, so it's the same description. Stop it. Oh, get out. Drop those shields. Got him. I love that that just happened. I love that they did that. Stupid. That's really cool, actually. So the question is, can I hit Dark Zone Missile with a Phazon Missile? And if I do, how much damage does it do? Because I missed the visual there. Okay. Dang it! Oh, don't worry, you're getting hit, kid. What? Oh, third one. Ah! I assume that was the correct one. But I couldn't tell you, because lots going on right now. What is this? Well, look, if we're going to be that way, I'm going to be this way. It's probably not a good idea, but it does guarantee damage on all three. What? No, not you. The one that's open. Thank you. It's starting to get on my nerves. Okay, fine. I'm blasting you then. Like I don't care enough. I'm just gonna pick a target and blast. No, get the guarded one out of the way. I'm trying to blast him. Go put the shields down. Rude. Good. One. Oh my god. I get it. Ugh. Not more. Okay, thank you. Not again! Alright, how long is the shield up for? Well, get good, scrub. You did the dumbest thing you could do. You walked into my gun, point blank. There was nowhere else for the bullets to go. Hey, that's, not my favorite thing. Aurora Unit. Morphology, Aurora Unit 313. Hatch on its head. Protects core. Damage core to sever cables. And that. What do I do from here? No, stop it. No, not these. Oh, that's how we do it. So you have to shoot the yellow parts after you blow the tentacles up. Alright, good. And that leads to this. I think, yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Yoinky splunky! Big damage! It's a good big chunk. Let's see how the boss changes now that we've done big damage. Dang it. Missed my opportunity. Ah, where's the third one? Big damage? No, not big damage. Not yet. There we go. Good stuff. Good beans. Can you blast it with a missile? Nice! Big damage! Big damage! Alright, come on. Hit me with phase 3, because we just jumped past phase 2. That all you got? Ho! Fool! Oh, I should be. Got him! Boss defeated. Just kidding. Only the first half of the boss. Severed cable is now exposed to a weak point that's vulnerable to attack. You might be wondering what? And indeed, you would find that that is it. Can I? Oh my goodness, he moves. Maybe if I'm lucky, you just stay below him and get some free hits in. No, I thought I had the timing. Go on, do the freaky laser move again. That's right, you're afraid to. You don't want to do it. Because you know what I'm going to do. And that's boss fight over, boys. Ladies and gentlemen. That's it. No! Oh, yikes. Yes! Indeed. Oh no! Ooh! That had to feel absolutely wretched. Also, note the detail. You can see the sclera and everything. That had to be absolutely agonizing to have all of the phazon infection and energy stripped from you at once. I don't know much about how any of that would feel, but that had to be straight agony for a few short seconds, presuming that it took a few seconds.
Sir, we have confirmed unstable energy spikes in multiple locations on the planet. It's a chain reaction. It's accelerating. The planet is going to explode.
Order the fleet to disengage and prepare to retreat. Activate the Leviathan's warp field. Get us out of here.
And of course the space pirates will think, ha! Failed attack, we win. Now we can move on from that. But then they'll look back at the planet and see, oh no. What an absolute nightmare situation for our evil ways and our evil plans. Completely vaporized the planet. Ain't it wonderful?
Damage reports coming in. We've lost 37% of the fleet. Half of the surviving ships are reporting heavy casualties.
Sir, we've confirmed the wormhole has disappeared. All the Leviathans are gone. The crisis is over.
Nice.
What about Samus?
That's a good
Negative,
question.
Sir, no contact.
What a weird structure of his face. Oh man! Samus back! With the old suit!
Sir, we're receiving a transmission from Samus's ship.
Very nice, very nice. I remember that guy. He was cool. A little bit too high on himself, but cool. And yeah, that is his gruesome death. I remember that guy. He's actually a really good dude. Shame that happened to him. And most especially this. That is just cruel. Yeah. I miss when characters were like that character. Gruesome death, though. Mm-mm. Also, notice how it, like, conveys that she's reflecting on the losses over the story, and, you know, like, still dealing with that. Notice how it conveys the emotion without saying a single word, without wasting all of our time with ridiculous platitudes and boring, trite... modernisms. I was looking for the word there. Yeah. Notice how the scene is told entirely without dialogue. It's very, very good. Very, very good. The question I have is, can I skip this? Seems not to be the case. We're just gonna have to sit this one through. I do have to say, while this is nowhere near as good as Prime 1, and definitely not as good as Prime 2, and personally, Prime 2 is my favorite, so I think it's better than Prime 1, but I'll yield to the... what's the phrase? I'll yield to the public discourse. While it's not as good as either of the first two, I'll yield to the public consensus. Consensus is that 1 is the best and 2 is not as good, but that's objectively wrong. For the sake of argument, I'll yield to...
Phase. Samus Aran's arduous fight against Phazon has ended. However, in the vast regions of space, this victory is just a twinkle of a star, spreading the light of hope through the darkness.
Interesting. I didn't know that was there. But, for the sake of argument, I'll yield to the public consensus on which is the best Metroid Prime, so that I can talk about 3. While 3 is not as good as 1 or 2, it's still pretty good. I feel like it relies too much on the hyper mode and the Phazon powers, but in a basic form. You don't need, pretty much ever, until the end, to use phase missiles, and you don't need... well, you don't need to overload something with Phazon energy, but like twice in the game, maybe 3 times total. So, it's the equivalent of going through Zelda and getting a ton of stuff and having none of the bosses use any of it. Like, none of the bosses have like a need for you to use this specific tool. Like, in A Link to the Past, you get the flame rod so that you can use it throughout the ice dungeon, and on top of that, use it against the boss to melt its outer shell that protects it, so that you can, you know, so that you can cut it to ribbons and get out of it. But in this, you get ice missiles, which are useful for traversal on one planet, but are not necessary for pretty much anything else in the game. You get Screw Attack, which is necessary for traversal, but nothing else in the game, and that's kind of okay, if only because in every single Metroid game, it's more of a... oh. Special thanks to Reggie Fils-Aimé. Shame that things have changed drastically for the worse since his departure, but that's that. Screw Attack has been more of a mobility and not so much a... oh, there's a bonus cinematic. I think I unlocked it. Maybe I'm wrong? I think I'm wrong. Okay. Maybe it was the helmet takeoff and reflecting on the stuff. Hyper mode difficulty unlocked. 9 hours, 82% complete. And as you... I think I showed on like the first episode, I do actually have 100% complete file. Okay, finish this game of Metroid Prime 3 Corruption. When you select your save slot again, you'll start a new game. Do you want to save? On this file, no, because it's not complete to 100%, so we're just not going to worry about it. A lot of loading time. Okay. So I did not unlock the special cinematic which shows Silex chasing after Samus at the end of Prime 3. That's the bonus cinematic is that, as you can see, top file is 100%ed, and I spent 3 more hours on it because I was newer to it and there were things I didn't know. And I got stuck on the pirate homeworld for a while, presumably an extra hour or 3. That's that. So. What was I saying? Hey, there's an over-reliance on hyper mode and the hyper mode weapons, but most specifically, there's almost a uniformity with how you can. There's an almost unspoken uniformity with how enemies are meant to be dealt with. On Elysia, the robots are easy enough to deal with, but when you deal with the space pirates, they all go into hyper mode after a certain point, or they can easily be dealt with hyper mode weapons. The ones with the shields, blast them with hyper beam. The ones that go into hyper mode, blast them with hyper beam. Enemies that go into hyper mode, blast them with hyper beam. Everything relies on hyper beam. It's an over-reliance on the hyper beam, and I feel that takes away from the genuine, enjoyable experience of a Metroid game. From my very, very hazy memory of Metroid Prime 4, I feel that I'm torn because I can't remember properly enough how much relied on weapons that I acquired in game. I don't believe there's a significant significant requirement to use items in game. In Prime 2, it might be considered obnoxious or frustrating, and the same could be said for Prime 1, but there are specific doors you can only open when you switch to a different beam, so you have to use those beams. Then there are specific enemies which take bonus damage from certain beams, or don't take damage at all during certain attacks or periods because you can only damage them with the other beam, and you may or may not have it at the time. There's the robots at the end of, or not at the end, the robots in the Sky Fortress, which can switch between dark and light, and so dark damage deals extra damage, light damage deals extra damage, or the Annihilator beam can deal damage on either front. There are I want to say extraneous. I'm not quite sure if that's the word I'm looking for. There's a word for what I'm looking for. It's superfluous. There are superfluous upgrades like the black hole or the sunburst or the sonic boom. They're fun, but they're not necessary, and they're not really incorporated into the game in any kind of way. And they sit basically in the same spot as everything outside of hyper mode for Prime 3. Everything outside of hyper mode in Prime 3 is superfluous and only minorly useful outside of mobility abilities like the screw attack. Once you get the screw attack, the ice missile mobility is completely... You don't even need to worry about it outside of maybe double jumping to get that one missile pack. But beyond that, it's not very necessary. It's not very... There's pretty much no need to use ice missiles after that. The wave beam has minimal usage outside of a few puzzles on the pirate homeworld. It's not used at all beyond that, and I feel that restricting the final world to hyper mode for the sake of story is good, but for the sake of the gameplay, the final planet suffers from, again, the over-reliance on hyper mode, the obsession almost with using hyper mode and to the maximum effects. And it's been my major gripe with the game. Obviously, I don't feel that the planets warrant going back to outside of necessary things that are hidden there, which could be argued, well, that's the way it is. It's not that you feel that you want to go, like, what I mean to say is that the planets don't make you want to go back to them to get that stuff and do more with it. You are sent back to the planet by measure of force. There's no... Perhaps it's because of the instruction from the computer, the incessant, hey, this is where to go, guys, computer response. It unfortunately just comes off as, you need to do this, and you will probably not want to do this, but you're gonna do it. You have to do it. So that's a grand majority of my thoughts on the game. In terms of general gameplay, I think the motion controls were a mistake, and upon trying them in Prime 4, remembered immediately why I despised that. I think hard converting this to a twin-stick shooter, like they allowed for in Prime 4, or mouse and keyboard, like again they allowed for in Prime 4, is the better way to go. I haven't moved the mouse in a bit, so the game thinks that the Wii remote is not in. Anyways, the twin stick shooter or mouse and keyboard shooter is a far better method of control and immersion. It just puts you more in the game. The only way that a motion control works, ideally, is with a... what's it called? Is with virtual reality. With virtual reality, not only are you physically inside the space, but your hands on the controllers are directly interacting with the world as best as our technology can present. Having motion controls where you sit in front of a flat screen is not immersive, it's distracting. It's the nature of the interaction with the world and with the technology, because this is a benefit of the generational experience. It's possible that if you were raised on motion controls, you could think that it's far more immersive to use them in-game. The problem is that most people and most games, like most games are not built that way, and most people are not raised on motion controls. You don't have people raised on Red Steel and Metroid Prime 3 or Metroid Prime 4 and all of the Wii games. Most people aren't raised on that. And even if they were raised on that, there are still plenty of games that they probably played amongst friends or with others that are traditional style of twin stick, mouse and keyboard, that kind of stuff. So they're more likely to be immersed in the traditional fashion rather than being forced to use a now uncomfortable and widely not used method of control. So ultimately, the motion controls were an egregious mistake that nobody really realized at the time was just a distraction that made everything worse. It was fun. It was fun when I did do it, when I did acclimate to doing it, and I was trying to do it, so when I first played it, I was trying to do it Southpaw because I'm a Southpaw. But I don't play video games Southpaw. I play traditional control scheme. I don't play Southpaw. I was raised traditionally, and so I never picked up Southpaw. All games are just, regular. They're not Goofy Foot, to use the skating analogy there. I can't play Goofy. I play regular. Interesting. So it's about a 29-second difference. Okay. Sorry, I was looking at both recording devices. Yeah. It's not that hyper mode is bad, it's that hyper mode is over-relied upon. It is the key mechanic in the game, and it supplants the Metroid experience with a more traditional action game method. It doesn't sound right, but it's... I can't describe properly. I don't have the right words for it. Anyways, it's a fun game. Unfortunately, most of the abilities feel unnecessary and extraneous. They feel worthless in the grand scheme of things in comparison to hyper mode. Everything comes back to reliance on hyper mode. And I feel that that degrades the game, weakens the experience, and ultimately makes it less of a Metroid game and more of just a traditional action game. And so we know that Metroid Prime 4 is like a 2.5. 4 is absolutely... A 2.5 is being nice. A 2 is what it deserves. A 2.5 is if I'm being... I want to say overly fallacious, but I would never fillet that game. Implying I would fillet anything else. Oh, God. Oh, man. Never gonna live that one down. It's, a 2.5 would be overpraising the game. Prime 1, easily an 8. To overpraise it, I'd say maybe a 9. I'm torn. I like the glitch that allows you to fire missiles really fast, but I understand that it's a little high-powered. It kind of reduces everything to fire out the missiles rather than focus on, you know, using different damage types and weapons. So I have the docket for basically being unfinished. I'm using too many adjectives. I have the docket points for being unfinished, so it's down to 8. I don't believe it. It's 1 point. It's 1 point. It would be a 9 had the missiles thing never been a problem, but because it is, and it benefits you greatly to abuse that glitch, you got a docket a point. I think Metroid Prime 2 is a solid 9. I'd love to put it as a 10, but there is room for contention on the game. I know most people probably put it as a 6 and Prime as a 7 because 7 has been seen as the universal point to reach, but 7 is like on a traditional... Not traditional. Game reviewers are stuck on the idea that 7 through 10 is a good game and that 6 and below is a bad game, but I don't agree with that at all. Which is why I give 4 2.5 at the absolute greatest and a 2. Prime is easily an 8, Prime 2 a 9. Prime 3, I'd say struggles to be over 5.5. I don't want to sound too harsh, but I think it is lacking in the core experience. I'd probably give it a 4. It's good. Don't get me wrong, it's very enjoyable. I just think it's missing that essence of Metroid, that quintessential thing that makes you want to come back to it. When you think of the Prime series, you think of Prime 1 and Prime 2, but you don't think of Prime 3. You think of Prime 3 as the downgrade. It's the worst one in the trilogy, and it is the worst one in the trilogy. I'd say by at least half the points that Metroid Prime 1 has. I'd say it's a 4. If I'm being nice, a 5.5. But I would say it's a 4. It's not for lack of effort. The game plays smoothly. Incredible effort on their part. But again, I feel like it's missing that quintessential Metroid feeling that makes you want to come back to it, makes you want to re-experience it. So to explain it, Metroid Prime 1 and 2 feel like video games. Metroid Prime... try not to sneeze to death. Metroid Prime 1 and 2 feel like video games. Metroid Prime 3 feels like a movie. It's not as bad as, say, The Last of Us or Uncharted, where those movies pretty much worshipped Hollywood and structured their games almost entirely around the movie structure. But in relation to each other, Prime 3 feels much more like a movie and much less like a video game. They're trying to tell a story, whereas Prime 1 and 2 feel like a video game that has a story, but the primary focus is on the video game. That said, of games, I like Prime 3 more, and I would go back through it more than once. Obviously, I played it once and determined to play it a third time. It was harder to go through than the other ones, because I've a genuine deep love for 1 and 2, most especially 2. But my love for 3 isn't as strong. While I would probably never play 4 again, except for if I were to do a traditional review instead of an end-of-the-game review where I try to combine my thoughts all into a singular thing. It's frustrating. It's difficult to continue my thoughts. I'm not sleepy, I'm exhausted. While I would go back through 1 and 2 any day of the week, and frequently do just start it up to go back through it again, I would play through 3 less often and more for the completion of the story and the experience of fighting Dark Samus, rather than an outright deep love for the game. So yeah, that's that. Oh, without further ado... itch. Back scratchers nowhere to be found. No. The pain and misery. Without further ado, if you watched through to the end, thank you. I appreciate that greatly. And I believe it's good evening this time. And in case you're watching it at any other time of day, good morning, good afternoon, and good night.